Alright everybody, today we are replacing the window regulator. This thing has decided to finally give up on me. It goes down, but it's a little stretched out. You can go down, but as soon as we get up to the top, I don't know if you can hear it, but you can kind of hear those cables in there. And here about a week or so ago, when this initially came off one of the cables somewhere in here, it kind of just didn't want to go anywhere, and I kind of had to pull on a little bit, and then it would slowly go up, and I kind of had to work at that for about 10 minutes until I could finally pull up on it enough to kind of get the cable back in where it was supposed to go, so that we could leave it up and not have any more issues. I have been into this door before, so I kind of know a little bit about where I'm heading with this. We've got bolts underneath this cover. There's some bolts back here underneath this cover. You got another access cover right here. Got to pull your lock knob, and then I believe that should be it. I think we may have to pull this one too. So we will let you know here momentarily if I can remember if I need to pull this or not. I think I do, because I think the door panel has to come up to get off the channel, so I think we have to pull this to allow the door to go up. Hopefully there's enough light for you guys to see everything. We'll get moving here. We'll see how this thing turns out. Starting off, should be just a little notch right here, I think, to pop this thing out. There we go. Once that pops up, it releases. Oop. And then I pulled the center of it all the way. It just, see, it's got little notches there that hold on to it, so it just slides back in there. When we're done, snaps down over the threads. Doesn't take too much to go back in there. So what do we got next? We'll take pry tool of your choice, screwdrivers, clip bars, whatever. If you've got the plastic ones, that's awesome, but you kind of get back in behind this thing, try to give it some leverage and some twist, and it should kind of pop out of place. And do the same thing as we go down, and there it is. It's got clip, a couple clips there and one there, and that's a guide hole. Goes in the center. If you're not careful with that thing, you get your prying on it, and the thing will go fling and hit the ground, get all scratched up, so just be careful. This one's a little difficult to see, but if you kind of get underneath here and lift up, that'll pop out your centerpiece. And this one behind the door handle, just kind of find a spot, get under it, and pull it out. So, and take your stuff out of your bottom. So we got one there, one here, another one, and back in there we've got two more. That'd be hard for you guys to see. Door lock knob, and like I said, I'm pretty sure, I think we got to take this off too. And this is the one that always throws me, because I never remember if it just pops off. Yeah, it just pops off. Just trying to find the right place to pop it off. Yeah, got little metal clips on it, so. Oh, come on. And that's what I mean about holding on to stuff. It goes flying, and you end up scratching everything up. Ugh. It's okay. But yeah, one goes through the panel, two into the door. So you definitely got to have that off in order to pull the door panel up. Go ahead and turn my... Yeah, we'll leave it on because I may have to roll the window down for the window regulator. So 10 millimeter, probably. Yeah, definitely. 1/4 inch, some extensions. Of course, if you got, you know, electric ratchets, that makes it a lot faster. And far enough yet? Not quite. There we go. There you go. Your pull handle, 2 bolts, and yeah, we can just leave them sitting there so we know which ones go. Oh, excuse me. Got these ones back here. And pull the handle back just a smidge. And not a problem to get to that one. There's bolt. Let's get our extension. Looks like same as that one. And same as that one. So those 3 same, those 2 different. Now, is this going to come up? Having more clips? I don't think I do. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's going to be clipped in the bottom. I think you have to pop out the bottom and then it should slide up. Of course, finding a spot to get in here to get that initial part broke loose, that's always a booger. And that's probably where the soft ones would be a little nicer. Okay, got one. Got another one. Got another one. Another one, and another one. We're almost there. Maybe one more. Maybe 2 more. Yep, there we go. One more. And one more. Okay. I think that is finally. Oh, maybe one more. Yep, maybe one more. Up here somewhere. Yep, I see it. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Now, trying to remember. I think, yep, I should have popped that up first. Oh, what a fail. Okay, temporarily kind of hooked that-ish back into place. This thing does pop up too. In between here, I believe. Give it a little pry. And there we go. That gets you your switches and your harnesses. So for now, we will push in on the white one, and then it should wiggle out. The door lock one, think. Little tab right there. And I think it wiggles down. Sorry, some of these are really hard to see. Okay, that one's got a tab right there. Give it a wiggle. That one comes out. That one's got a press tab right there. That one wiggle. That one comes out, and we flip that one over. And that's the tab. Yeah, and this one's kind of a weird one because this one goes in lengthwise. So just pry it gently on each side, and it'll come right out. All right, now we get all of our switches undone. So sorry, missed that. Don't forget it. And up, and kind of out of the way. And the next thing we've got to do is disconnect our handle for the inside door handle. Throw a little light down here. There's our cable. There's the notch that the cable slides into. And if I remember right, I think, you put some tension on this and it slides out just like so. Drop it out of that notch and then it'll come right out of the ball there. And if you didn't notice, way down here are these long clips. That is exactly what that's for. It is to rest the door panel on while you're disconnecting that cable. So that way you're not trying to hold the door panel while trying to reach in here and, you know, not break stuff. So there we go. Two of them, one there, one there. The only purpose they serve is to just hook in there. And then that gives you the ability to get in here, hook your ball, bring it around, snap your cable into its spot, or take it out of its spot. So there we go. Door panel is off. Find a nice safe place for it for now. There's our new window regulator. Oh boy, this is probably gonna have to come off, and we're gonna put it back right where it was too, so just be very careful with it. Don't really want to mess up the glue. A lot of people don't care about this stuff at all, but it does have a purpose. It helps keep some of the dust out of the vehicle and serves as also a water shield. So most people just rip this stuff off and don't give it a second thought. I'm going to be careful and take my due diligence and take it all off nice and gently, so that way it can go kind of back into place where it needs to and do its job. And I would say that's probably about all the more we need to. If you don't have to take it all the way off, and I mean, yeah, you can see it's a little dirty on the back side. You can see a little bit there, a little bit there, and see it stops right here where that hole is, so that way if anything hits the back side of this, rain, water, whatever, it will go back in and drain out the hole into the door versus inside your interior. So like I say, it does serve a purpose. Some people just rip it out and don't think nothing of it, then get to going down dirt roads and you probably get some more dust in here and you're just like, well, why is it so dusty and why is everything getting so dirty? Or if you end up with a mystery leak on the inside, that could very well be part of it. Okay. Doesn't look intimidating at all, let me tell you. Looks like, I don't think we need to worry about taking that out of the way. But let's see. Hey, bet you we probably do need to take that off. It'll probably help. So let's take him off, throw him in there. What was our mystery object here? That wasn't what fell off. Where'd that thing go? Oh, there it is. What is that? Let's just another piece of foam stuck in there to fill the gap. Well, we'll keep track of that and make sure we get that back where it belongs. Okay, so we'll take a peek at the new regulator. And oh, holy moly. Well, by golly, look at that. I would definitely say we got a problem with the window regulator. Holy moly, how does that, has that thing even been going up and down? I wonder, I bet you that must be the downside of the cable. And it's got enough leverage on it that it's going down just by gravity. And this must be the up one, which is still making it go up. Holy wow. I'm surprised that thing didn't just completely fail and fall off down into the door. There's the other side of it. So I think nothing beyond a doubt, we've definitely got a failure there. So I don't think we have to take the bracket out. I don't believe. Well, that is kind of interesting. Is it supposed to be on top like that, or is it supposed to be down in the notch? Huh. Very interesting. Oh, wait a minute. That looks like a bolt that holds the piece of the track thing in there, so we may have to take that off. We may just take it off just to eliminate a possibility of it having to come off later. I mean, it's only got 3 bolts on it, so no big deal. Ooh, some of those nice ones. I think these ones had thread lock on them. Oh yeah, a little bit of red thread lock, as a matter of fact. Okay, those are a little bit different. How do we put those down there? Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not always fun dropping your tools. Another short one that had some thread lock on it. And same thing with that one. It had a little bit of thread lock on it. Maybe we'll throw a little blue Loctite back on it. Really don't see a need to put red on there, but you know. I kind of wonder if that's not supposed to be on the inside. I wonder why that's was on top of the metal instead of underneath. They've definitely been rubbing on it. We'll have to scope that out. Okay, that definitely looks like one that holds a motor. That definitely looks like one of them that holds part of the track. That's holding the guide, which we shouldn't have to mess with that one. This is the rear track, so I'm going to say it's that bolt and this bolt down there, that bolt down there, and I'm going to hope that is all we need to take off. Okay, got a piece of cable hanging out in there. There's the clamp on the glass. And I think that's the clamp on the other glass. So, with that being said, we're going to grab a little tape out of my arsenal of tape. Hopefully the tape is plenty strong to hold up some glass for a few moments. Because I can definitely tell you it will slide down. Because even though the down cable, and I'm going to assume that's the down cable, it's an assumption on my part at the moment, because if that was the up cable and that was broke, I don't think the window would have went up. So my assumption is that is the down cable which pulls it down, which makes sense is when you hit the button and it kind of boom and drops a little bit and goes boom and drops a little bit, is it's got enough looseness in the track that it was allowing it to go down, but it wasn't causing a binding issue on the upwards part of it. Okay. And I think 2 pieces should be enough. It's not going to be on here very long, so it might slip just a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. Okay, now depending on your preference, I did take a look at a Dorman, and I did order this OE one and just kind of looked at them side by side. And I will tell you, the Dorman one's going to be at least between $80 and $100 cheaper than an OE. You know, I'm not sure about Dorman. There's a lot of Dorman products that are great, and I've seen some Dorman products that people have had nothing but problems with. So I kind of bit the bullet and just went ahead and decided to go to OE. This is a 2013 Chevy Silverado. I may have forgotten to mention that at the beginning of the the video. I've had this thing 10 years. I bought it brand new. I've taken very good care of it. It's a great truck, and you know, driver's side, it goes up and down way more than your passengers, your rear windows, toll booths, you know, drive-throughs, cruising around on a nice evening. Yeah, you always throw these windows down more. If this one lasted 10 years, I bet you this one's going to last at least 10 more years, if not for the rest of the time that I own the vehicle, whether that's 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, depending on, you know, how the world rolls. I could put a Dorman in there and maybe it'll last just as long. Maybe I'll never have another problem with it. They have a lifetime warranty, and I think that's the thing that draws people in, is if I ever have a problem with it, I can go exchange it and get a new one. Lifetime warranty. Well, you know, this door's not horrible to take apart, but if that Dorman one only lasts 1 or 2 years, and then I gotta change it every 2 years for the next 10 years, every time you take this thing apart, you're wearing out the bolts and the threads, you're wearing out those door clips, and most people know them door clips, they're a booger. Once they start wearing out, they get rattly, or they break, or it'll start breaking the back side of the door panel, and then eventually they won't all snap into place. So I'd rather just do it one time with an OE. You know, I think it's worth the money. Price wise, I think I picked this up for $190. You can see them anywhere from $170 to $213, I think, in that range. And like I said, the Dorman was running at least $80, and depending on where you're going to get it from, if you could get free shipping, even up to $100 less. If somebody had an old one that decided not to put in, you might find it cheap on eBay. And you know, I mean, if you're on a budget, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Give it a shot. No problem, man. So this thing was banded, and I tore the bands off of it. I had to throw a piece of tape on there to kind of hold everything back together. There we go. Put that back out of the way. So there we go. Looks kind of like what's over here. I'm getting grease all over my hands. There's a motor. Hold it up here. I think we're about right on par. There's that bolt, that bolt. There's the 2 studs there, which were the ones down below. We've got a clamp there and a clamp there, and those are all in the bottom position. So I would say that definitely looks like that guy right there. So yeah, I think we're good. And now I'm going to have to go get a a paper towel because I stuck my hands in the grease that they were kind enough to put on there for us. Okay, battery ran out. Had to switch that while I was heading over to get my rag to wipe the grease off my hands. So, wouldn't hurt to throw that on your list of things to have handy so that you don't have to keep running back and forth in the garage or shop or wherever you're at. Like I said, hopefully the light level here hasn't been too bad for y'all. Looks like we got the same thing going on. We're still on 10, which is awesome. We're gonna back these clamps off the glass, and I think that's loose. Then we'll get in here and do the same thing on this one. Ooh, that one is definitely snug, and she fell right off, so definitely wasn't holding anything in anymore. At this point, we'll do the bolt here on the motor. And we'll keep that one, and that looks like still the same as all those there. Now, I noticed that these are kind of nice. You just loosen, and then when you kick the studs out, I think you just slide it up and it'll come out. So, flip it up, we'll take our studs off the bottom, and these are ones we're going to have to save, so don't lose track of those. There's that one. So now put that thing back down, pull it out, slide it up, push it through, and there went that piece. Man, that was broke. Holy buckets. Oh yeah, that one was toast. And there was the guide on that one. So, yeah, definitely a little foobarred. So, let's let that guy hang right there. Ain't got much left here, so. Okay, out the bottom. Out, maybe. There we go. That was a little snug. Can't go up. It really doesn't act like it wants to go up. I think we were plenty loose, but something seems to be in the way here. I don't know what we got going on. I suppose that's probably the reason why you need to drop it down a little bit. Let's throw this back in real quick. Okay, it's not that one. Surely it's that one. Okay, I think that was it. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Boy, I'm pretty confident in myself. I'm rolling it down and just unplugging it immediately. All right, that was it. Just needed to roll it down ever so slightly to finish letting the rest of this out. And, oh yeah, you know, hey, might be helpful to go ahead and finish unplugging the motor. If you don't have long enough fingernails, find yourself a nice little screwdriver, and there it is. Oh my Lanta. Boy, look at that. But they don't lie. When those things go, they go. That one was all curled up. God, I don't even know how that thing was still rolling up and down. Well, like I said, I think gravity was doing the down, but I think the up cable was still there, but holy buckets. Okay, yeah, that's a little greasy and gross. Looks like our tape did its job. It's holding the glass up there quite well. So, tape, win. We got a win for tape. It does hold. But please make sure it's good tape. Either that or have someone with you, because this is tempered glass, and if that tape lets go and that thing goes flying down, it's liable to just explode. So definitely make sure you secure your glass. You definitely don't want that blowing up. Okie dokie. So the new window regulator is actually already down in the track. So that means that is probably the correct positioning for initial installation. And wow, they have got quite a bit of this grease everywhere, and if you accidentally wipe off too much, don't worry. Get some grease and just throw some back in there. Okay, now, well, since ours was kind of like all apart, I don't think it was that hard to get out. But going back in is going to be kind of weird. So we're going to put that one in first. And we'll kind of flex this one maybe. I don't know. Oh man, I keep sticking my hand right in that grease. Maybe go this way. Ah, there we go. So tip your bottom in and then slide it back up. And this one had the bolts in the top, so we just got to get it kind of where it's supposed to be, slide it in and hook it. Kind of just the opposite, and you can see they got a little blue thread lock in there already. So this one here, make sure you're on the correct side of your glass, hook it and drop it in. That is really simple. God, I've worked on some, vintage vehicles, like the 68 Mustang that I'm working on over there, the engine right now. Those metal, mechanical, manual roll-up window regulators, trying to come out holes that are smaller than this. Holy buckets, man! That's a cakewalk compared to some of the window regulators I've fought in the day. I got a 49 Ford pickup. Yeah, believe me, it's definitely not that easy to get the window regulator in and out of that thing either. It's got bars from the glass kind of wedging it in, and you got to loosen the glass thing to push it out so you can get it out from behind. And I've even worked on an 03 Mustang, and they tell you to undo one of the channels or something to try to get the motor out, and man, I'm telling you, GM did a great job on this one. That couldn't be simpler. All right, let's get the pull the bottom ones in and put our nuts back on here. I don't think I need to worry too much about trying to find a torque spec for these things. I mean, you want to make sure they're not loose, because obviously if you don't tighten them down enough, you can definitely end up with the regulator coming loose and kind of making noise and rattling around and stuff like that after a while. So would just be aware of trying to go tight but not too tight. I'm sure somewhere there probably is a torque spec for it, and if you're one of those people that's got to do it by the book, then I'm sure you can find it online and get that information, no problem. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, tentatively. A lot of people like to use the witness marks of the prior bolt to kind of align these things. You can see that one had a little bit of a notch right there. So that one is going to have to go up ever so slightly to be in the same clamping place as the other one. This one looks like maybe forward just a hair. Just ever so snug. And those don't look too bad. Not quite in the same spot as the old one, but we're just going to ever so slightly snug this thing down. Okay, not going to get too carried away yet. That's in. One for the motor. Hopefully we won't forget to plug our motor back in here in a minute. And witness mark wise, that looks like it's about where it was. Alrighty. Now, my next question, that thing is all the way down. Should I try to lower it or go up with it a little bit? I'm going to say probably go up, because there is no other places to tighten those unless it's all the way up. So, at this point, I believe we are plugging our motor back in. This is our new one. And that is a little flimsy, so you might two-hand that one. That could snap off with a little too much force. There's not much to that, so thank God it didn't break. But tip for you, both hands. Put a finger on each side, just to be on the safe side. Let's throw the switch back in here again. Cool. See them both going up. Okay, I'm going to hold right there because it's not quite lining up. So we want to be very careful. And actually, you know what? This could be the point at which we lower the glass. So it looks like we're okay on the back. The front's not quite in place. So from what I can see, I think it just goes in, and wherever it bottoms out, then it clamps down. I don't think we have to adjust anything from there. So let's do this front one. Okay. Tape out of the way. This one, trying to see. Oh, there we go. That one slid down in the front just a smidge. Okay. You kind of use the tape and just let it slide down into the channel. Okay, light. I would say, yep, that is totally what you're supposed to do. Just let it slide down in there, because it has a little rubber grommet it bottoms out in. And then at that point, you can probably all the way up. And it does kind of move a little bit. Try to put my light there. Hopefully it'll kind of stay. Sorry if it doesn't there, but I'm going to hold up on this just a little bit so it doesn't twist. I don't know how carried away you need to get with that, because you obviously don't want it to break the glass, but you don't want it slipping out either. Now, I think that one is where it's supposed to be. Now I'm trying to keep my hand centered, not really out here giving it too much leverage. If you keep it center, you shouldn't be able to over torque it, though some people are a lot stronger than others. My dad was one of those people. He could seriously over torque anything with a 1/4 inch ratchet. You'd like to never get those things back apart. I think that's it, guys. Let's run it through a cycle here. We'll go down. Okay. Looks like it's down just like it was before. All the way back up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the way up. Awesome. I mean, I couldn't be happier. That was simple. I'm not gonna lie. I do tons of those, man. I know not every vehicle's the same, and man, you get some people don't like to do this stuff, but man, I could make a living just replacing these things. This isn't bad at all. So, all right, let's chuck this thing back together. Try to get all of our pins lined back up, all of our things back on. Try to make sure we get everything sealed back up the way it's supposed to be, and we're gonna call this project done. So I kind of put this thing off for about 2 weeks because I just was kind of dreading doing any of this, and that really wasn't that bad at all. So, oh man, bright light. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish torquing just a smidge. This one was done by hand, just a smidge. That one, just a smidge. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. All right. That should be everything inside, right? We got both clamps, both upper bolts, that bolt, both lower bolts. Okay, I think we're ready to put the water shield back in here. The wires, they all came through there, didn't they? I think as well as that, or was it higher? Oh, maybe they were higher. Yeah, they were higher. Surely they were. I guess if I'm wrong, I'll be doing it again. Cable. I think cable came out that one for sure. Yeah. Pretty sure. That looks right. Okay. That's good. Kind of got a little witness mark with that sealer there. Kind of help you get everything back. Oh, hey. We do need to put our bracket back in place. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, but this time, when I put this on, we are going to drop that into the notch. And this one up here has kind of a little hook. So for some reason, mine was on top, and maybe it's just loose enough. And if you pull on the door hard enough, and sometimes I do pull on my door a little too hard. Maybe if you do that, maybe it will pop off there. Sorry about that. Blinded you guys, but a little bit of movement in it. Not a ton though. So kind of keeping an eye on my witness marks the best I can. Hopefully I won't have any rattles. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Cable looks good. Pretty sure that's where our wires were coming out, so I'll call that good. Okay. And push that stuff down. Line up our stuff. There we go. Now our dust/water shield will continue to do its fine job that it's been doing. Let's see. Probably go ahead and slide that guy back on, which was this thing. Of course, if yours has gotten a little bit dirty, it'd be an easy time to rinse it off and clean it real quick. And I would definitely say that little guy just must be a little filler to kind of fill in that gap. Kind of a crude little piece, but looks like it's been doing its job. And we'll just try to wedge it right back up in there. Yeah. Okay, I got little filler in there where it's supposed to be now. It went right back in there. It was clear up in the front, but there's enough and deep enough channel between that skin and this inner panel. I had to take a screwdriver and just kind of push it down until I got back to this little area back in here, and I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but there's a little more of an opening where you could probably grab it, because you're not going to be able to get your fingers down in there. And in the process of doing that, also found another piece of the cable laying down in the door, and I'm sure that would have been ticking and rattling around at some point, and I would have been like, why is my door rattling? So take a screwdriver, fish through the little gap between the two panels down in there, and make sure all your pieces that have come apart have been removed. Oh, right. Now we're back to bring this thing up again. Getting all the wiring back in the hole again. Finding our cable for the door remote again. Okay. We'll push our little tacky stuff down, front and back. Everything looks like it's lined back up over the holes. Looking good. Perfect. All right. I believe it is hot in here. That is definitely what I believe. We should be ready to hang the door panel, I believe. Fish the wires up. We'll have to hook our cable back up. But I believe we've gotten everything back in here. Take a look. We got switch. We've got cover, tape, which we don't need. We've got bolts. Yeah, I think we got everything. Besides my square here, I don't know. This looks like it was over one of those. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. That means that must go on the back side of the door panel. Sorry, door panel. Words. Sometimes. Hey, that's exactly what it is. Okay. Should be right over that thing. Probably to help with rattles. Okie dokie. Obviously, we need to slip the top in first, while also paying attention to our harness and wires. And the older these things get, these harnesses do get a little tacky. So be mindful of getting that tacky stuff on your hands and then going around and touching a whole bunch of other stuff, and I am a dummy. Hold on. Hook. I'm almost forgetting the most important thing to start with. The cable. Told myself that like 3 times. Okay, ball in, through the cup, and the biggest pain is snapping it into that piece. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. It is snapped into the back, right there. Cable's in. You can pull on your door handle and make sure. You should see your cable, and you see your ball. Everything's good. Okay, now back to our regular scheduled program. Now let's get the harnesses back through here. And we also need to go get our top door panel snatched in here. Man, it's amazing how much a wiring harness can get in the way of items. Okay, that is hooked. That is not. Okay, that hole, that one's lined up, okay. Okay, I see the rod. I believe it is in the correct spot. Okay, I think we're good. Hopefully I haven't moved you guys too much. I keep bumping you into everything. But, try to take you off here. Yeah, I think we're good. Should be just like so. Let's back up here. Okay. That top one is lined up and kind of in the hole. Those ones are kind of in the hole. Let's go ahead and snap all these back on first, just so we know that this goes back in correctly. Oh man, that light. I think I can get this to stick up there anywhere. There we go. Okay, so we've got this one, which is our funky one. Need to line it up, slide it in and snap it, and apparently that's my locks because they work. Then we have this random one, which is all tangled up. What is that thing and why is it in there? Just loop him around and get him out of the way. Okay. We reconnect that one, reconnect that one, and last but not least, that one. That should be all of them. And we got 2 little snaps there, a little alignment dowel there. Just kind of bring it down and push it all into place. Okay. Window down, take that off, window back up, all windows, okay, lock, unlock, yeah, vice versa. Motor works, okay, everything's tested, everything's back in working order. Now it's a matter of going around and snapping all the pins back into the door. So I do believe, like I said, we've got this down. Don't forget to get that lined up here where the lock rod knob goes. Got my top one lined in. Push, snap. That one, push, snap. Push, snap. That one's already lined up. Got it. That's it. Don't have anything in the center, just on the perimeter. Bolts are all here. So, back to all these guys. This one, flip your handle just a smidge. Start running it in. Just a little snug. We got these two guys back in here. And then see, I'm always starting them with twisting it with my finger. That way I know it's lined up before I start trying to cross thread it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Technically, we're good to go with that. Could just put them all on last, but what the heck. We know we got this one done, snapped in place. We know we've got this one done. Just kind of push it back in there and give it a little push. That's back into place. Now, our upper door handle, or the upper door pull reinforcement and cover. Let's try to get these in there the way they're supposed to be. It'd help. Okay, come on now. Sometimes bolts can just be a pain. Yeah, maybe we'll stick that one in with the ratchet. Hey, there we go. Alright. Into place using the twist method. Okay. Started. That one started. Okay. Little twist. Little twist. Those are back in. This thing only kind of matches up correctly one way. Curves are a little off, so oh lordy, dropped it again. And line up your center pin. Give it a little twist and push, and that's it. Oh, besides lock knob, lock knob. Good grief. Don't know where I went to school. Okay. Okay. That's up. Right there. Push, snap. That's locked. That's unlocked. Pretty much it's right there. Cool. Little triangular piece with these little metal clips. Let's line them up. Push it in. All three. Snap. There you have it. That really wasn't bad at all. That was pretty simple. So don't be afraid. These ain't that bad. It is definitely intimidating getting these clips out, and if you've never had the door panel off before, then first time it can be a booger. So just do your best. Metal ones got a little more leverage to them, though you could scratch your paint, just saying. But initially getting it in there and trying to get a little bit of a peek with a light so you can kind of identify where they're at, and then try to get this thing as close to it as possible to pop it. Line it up with the next one, pop it. It'll kind of give you a gap. You'll be able to find your clips a little easier. Go all the way around the perimeter. Then make plastic ones. I've never bought them. I've kind of wanted to, but then I have back and forth where some people say they're not strong enough and they flex too much and they don't do the clip popping like they should. So I've got the metal one. But other than that, you know, it wasn't that bad. door panel, everything's back on just like it's supposed to be. Solid door handle. Probably should close it and make sure I can open it back up. Good. Yep. I'll get inside, test the inside door handle, make sure it works correctly. But there we go. Auto down, goes, stops. Doesn't have auto up, not in this model. Excellent. So hopefully this helps somebody out. Really appreciate you guys sticking along with me. Try to edit it, make it not like horribly long, but I mean it really didn't take that long anyways. But there you go. Door window replacement, driver's side, 2013 Chevy Silverado. Surely crew cab, extended cab, regular cab. Most of them should be all the same, provided it's power window. If it's a manual window, I don't know how different they are, so can't help you out on that particular one. But I would say as long as it's power, trim package, you know, just the internet's got a lot of good information. Take a peek real quick if you're not sure. I know it's intimidating starting to try to pry on plastics and trying to figure out where bolts and clips and things are. I mean, you got obvious ones. You got this thing here. That's super obvious. That's not so obvious. And neither is this one back here. I mean, that's kind of what they like to do. They try to hide those access points to try to make it look a lot cleaner. But, you know, probably a $400 door panel. It could be even more now that it's, you know, 10 years old. But that's an obvious one. No doubt about it. Not so obvious, but once you know how to take it off, it's pretty simple. Just be careful. Same thing with that one. It doesn't work so easily prying like this because then it wants to cock down. So it's easier to come in underneath this side of it and pry up and pop it out. Glass all the way up to start with. New track will be down, but then you can roll it up and get it close, let the tape loose, let it sit in the track, all the way down in the track. Kind of keep your things level as you tighten them, the clamps that clamp onto the glass. Then go ahead and take it all the way back up to where you can get into your notches for it, clamp it down, and that little funky clip there for the door lock knob. And that's it, man. Sorry, this too many ands in there. All right, everybody have a great day. I'm getting out of here. It's hot. Open up the doors, get some air. Have a good one. Like and subscribe. If you want me to do some more of this stuff, you know, I'll try to do it every once in a while. This thing's treated me very well. I don't have to do very much to it very often. So appreciate it. Have a good one. Later.